are now entering Armbar Audio.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Armbar Audio. I'm your host, Tim Farley, and next to me is my trusted companion,
John Kearns. What's up, everybody?
Today, we have a special interview. We've been getting interviews left and right. More are coming, but today it is GCW Homecoming Weekend, and we have none other than announcer / commentator Emil J.
Emil J. Let's throw it to Emil.
So, this is GCW Homecoming Weekend, and right now we got on the horn none other than announcer / commentator Emil J. Emil, how you doing?
I'm fired up for this weekend, man. I think I said it on Twitter the other day, maybe last night. I don't know. Time runs together for me, but I'm more hyped up for this weekend, homecoming weekend, than I was for the collective down in Tampa. And I was so hyped up for that. Like, this is like next level stuff, man.
Yeah.
The eyes of the wrestling world are going to be on GCW. So, hell yeah, man. Let's go.
Speaking
there's
of,
going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah. Speaking
Fired
of eyes on the eyes of the world on GCW, going to be, I think, even more so after what just happened on AEW's Dynamite this week, huh?
That's one of the nuttiest things ever. Like,
Right?
I didn't even I was at work, I was doing my delivery stuff, and when I parked back at the restaurant waiting for another order, I looked at my phone, and like, first thing I saw happened to be from Captain Dave. Captain Dave posted something on Facebook talking about welcome to AEW Nick Gage, and I was like,
So you didn't even
talking
know?
about? No, I had no clue.
That's awesome.
I'm not privy.
The whole time,
I'm not
man.
privy to such.
The whole time MJF was describing who it was, I was saying, no fucking way. No fucking way. They didn't get him. There's no way. And then he said Nick freaking Gage, and I thought my neighbor might have called the cops.
Yeah, it was certainly a moment. Like,
yes.
Yeah, like the way MJF like delivered it, it's like, oh, what? No, what?
Like there was nobody else that it could be. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
once
Who
you
else
said
robbed the bank without
No
a
mask.
Yeah, exactly. You
All
say
right.
that, and then he got that huge pop too. Like, that was really cool.
Absolutely.
Like, so
Yeah, and I saw the tweet from Brett Lauderdale today that it's going to be the biggest crowd at the Showboat, and also the biggest crowd since Genoa's Spring Break too, right?
yeah, and there was a lot of people there.
It's
I was
gonna
at
be awesome.
that Janela Spring Break too. I was that was a hell of a night in a multitude of ways. That was the night that Joey wrestled the great Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
And there were probably maybe like 15 in the building, I'd say.
The first GCW show I ever saw was the Spring Break that Wheatus performed for Nate Webb.
The one in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
WrestleMania weekend in New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
slowly started getting into GCW, but within the past year and a half, we both have become massive fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only, and it annoys me whenever people associate GCW with just deathmatch wrestling, because if they actually took the time to watch an actual show, they would realize that, the scrambles are very lucha-esque. You have guys like Deppen and Dickinson and Gray who are doing, like power moves and technical stuff, and then you have other dudes who are like brawlers, like Mance and Manders,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, there's just it's
You
a
got a little bit of
smorgasbord.
everything.
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord of wrestling. So
Yeah, it really is that wrestling buffet, like what you really want. Like you really want to see a little bit of everything, like at a high level, and that's what we provide. Um, like even like if the match isn't a death match, like no, these dudes are still going hard. Like they're they're doing some crazy shit. No matter whether it's like the young, like this new crop. Like I love this new crop, bro. Like this he's like Jack Cartwheel. It's
Jack
like
Cartwheel,
Starboy Charlie,
Dante
Dante
Leon.
Leon, Ninja Mac.
Ninja Mac,
Who
man, I love Ninja Mac.
yeah. Uh Brian Keith showed out
Yeah, big
down in
time.
Texas. We need to get Mysterious Q back up in the. We
I
need to get him in
agree.
the East Coast. Yo, him and Matthew Justice went absolute berserk.
I
Like I
agree.
don't like. Did you guys see that show
Yeah,
in
I
Houston?
think I watched half of it so far. I didn't watch it when it aired because something else was on that took precedence. But then
Sure.
I watched that uh, during the week, like most of it. But I watched You Only Die
Yeah,
Once live. We watched
yeah,
that
we
live.
watched You Went That Once live.
Dallas. That was Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dallas went pretty crazy.
dude, the
I'll tell
fucking
you what.
alley cat, the bussy match was
Plus the explosion.
fucking nuts. Like seeing
Yeah.
Allie catch his mom and then her fake leg and all that shit was fantastic.
Her mom hit that DDT like butter. It was so
Yeah,
smooth.
It was so cool seeing her get in there and tear it up, man. And I
Yeah.
laughed out loud. I saw Effie later the night on Twitter was like, "Nobody has a gift for me ripping off her leg."
yeah, Effie's
And then
cool as
boom.
fuck too.
I
Like,
love Effie.
we
Effie
interviewed
rules.
him.
Effie does rule.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a definite rock star.
Also,
Absolutely.
like TOS 666 was fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, great show. Great show.
Great show.
One of the better deathmatch tournaments that's happened in a long time.
Made
You know who really stood out to me, and it might sound a bit odd, because it's not a name that is constantly talked about. Oren Veidt
yeah.
Mhm.
really impressed me that night, and he seems like
Yeah.
the kind of guy that can eventually be a John Moxley. Like, he can do deathmatch and he can do it well, but when I watched that match, I saw moves and I saw that, I don't know, there's just something about him that makes me think that he has the potential to be not just in the deathmatch scene, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing about a lot of these guys now on the come up. Like a lot of these quote unquote deathmatch guys, like they're not deathmatch guys. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're wrestlers that do deathmatch, like that mostly do death matches, but that doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
like Kogar, he spent a lot of time here in Pittsburgh at IWC, and he wasn't doing deathmatch stuff. So like now when I see him, it's like almost always deathmatch, and if it's not deathmatch, it becomes deathmatch. And,
Oh yeah.
man.
and that was
I
interesting to see.
Yeah, because like I remember like way back like years ago, like probably like 2016, 2017, like RSP was hitting me up talking about like, oh, I got these like two brothers, the Cogers, like, you know, Atticus and Otis, like, can you get them? Like, we tried to get them in for Dojo Wars, but like it never really like worked out. But yeah, I remember at that point in
Yeah,
time, it was just like
they
it was
ran
just like,
with my buddy Remy LeVay.
oh yeah, I
and-
remember him.
And Remy, it's really funny because like in high school, when we were both seniors, juniors and seniors, we both had punk metal bands, me and him, And
Were y'all in like the same school?
No,
Same,
I went to Catholic high school. That was
but
that
y'all
was
like at the same time though.
yeah. That was probably like
Oh,
40
okay.
minutes away from where he's from.
Oh,
And
okay.
but we would play the same shows, and we were on like Battle of the Bands that would go
awesome.
worldwide, and we made it and they didn't, which was hilarious. But like he was always cool with me and everything. And then like years later, when I was training at IWC, I was at a show. Matthew Justice actually worked it because it was right after he left FCW, and
Right.
I was like paying my dues, which was fucking hard, like setting everything up, putting it
Bitch
down,
work.
all that. Yeah, dude, your muscles are dead, and then they want me to train the next day. I was like, oh fuck that, but luckily training got
That's what you gotta
canceled the next
do.
day. But I was outside having a cigarette, and he came up to me and he was like, "Whoa, Tim, you do this?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm trying a little, but I don't know if it's for me. Like, I love wrestling, but I don't know if doing it is actually in my shit, you know." And he was like, "Wow." And then like a year later, he had signed up, and now he is doing what he does. So, and for a while, it was him and the Kogars. They were called the Culmination.
IWC, International Wrestling Cartel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, out of Pittsburgh.
Britt Baker, Wardlow,
Facade. Facade's been a regular on GCW for a while.
No.
Joaquin
Stop.
Wild.
Stop with those guys. I mean, yes, with Facade, I like him. But no, you got to lead off with like Super Hentai.
Oh, dude, that was my. He was in my. He did my tryout. Him and Justin Idol, and
those guys. Like fucking who? Jason Gorey.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Jason Gorey rules, dude. I love
like
Jason Gorey.
Jason Gorey was fucking awesome, and him and Facade were such a good team. And then something.
Yeah,
happened.
I remember. What it wasn't Jason Gorey and Shima Zion a team?
No, I don't know about that. I think Shima
Or maybe they
just,
teamed
maybe, but it was
in
It
CZW.
was probably because it was mainly Facade and Gorey. Facade and Gorey actually even got booked on DG Dragon Gate USA. And
right. Okay. Yeah. Now that you say that again, like it's kind of like revving a memory. But I also remember there was a match in CZW in early 2007. I want to say maybe March, where it was Shima Zion and Sterling James Keenan.
Yeah.
And Jason Gorey,
a bunch of Pittsburghers. Well, actually,
maybe
Joaquin.
There was somebody else because of the tag match, but I can't remember who was it. I don't think it was Justin Idol. I can't really remember. But I'm like, yo, like these guys got some moves, and then but CZW fans at that time were like super, super duper fickle, and they were like, fuck you guys, we don't know who you are. I'm like, yo, Shima Zion did the move where he did the fucking the back suplex full flip into the knee thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That move is so killer. Like, how do you hate on that? Like,
whenever I was in my tryout, actually, Shima had just got turned down by WWE, and it was they basically.
What year was this?
I'm gonna say 2012 or 2011, and they had said that he was good, but that's not what they were looking for at the time. It was right before Punk kind of opened up the door and Brian busted it open for all those types of guys. And so then he went to TNA very shortly after. But yeah, Shima's a cool dude.
And he was DJ Z there, right?
Yeah, he went from Shima Zion to
Zima Ion.
Zima
Ion,
Ion,
and
then
then
DJ
DJ
Z, and now Walking
and now he's
Wild.
Walking Wild. And I'll tell you another guy who, when I went to shows, I would always boo the heels, cheer the faces, because I was there to be the way the fans should be. I think they move the show along. You know what I mean? And but a guy that would always get booed because he was always a heel, but he would always get booed and people would talk shit on him. But he was kind of an unsung hero. Was Big League John McChesney.
Oh, yeah.
That dude was fucking great. I don't know where he is now.
I
hope he's wrestling, but
I
haven't gone to a show in a long time. Not
what nickname did you use for him?
Big League. Yeah,
he was actually supposed to be Heath Slater in Nexus, but he missed the fucking call, and they called Heath Slater.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember him when he wrestled for Pro Wrestling Unplugged, and he was fabulous, John McChesney back then.
Yeah. When he was in IWC, he was Big League, and a lot of he would use a lot of like baseball terminology and shit like that. And but yeah,
he was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
I saw him wrestle a match against Adam Flash in January of 2008 at PWU. Yeah, that was a good time. Absolutely.
So we were talking about death matches and stuff. One of my questions for you was, have you ever actually felt in danger during a death match? Or just a match in general where it just got out of hand?
I mean, like, during the matches, I'm usually far enough away from everything that I'm not in danger, and I am not responsible for anything.
Right.
So,
I mean, you got to make that run from the ring back to the commentary booth.
Yeah. I mean, I got to get out of there. I got other things to do. I mean, the one time that was like a little kind of nerve wracking was when Jimmy Lloyd and G Raver had that glass ceiling match or whatever.
Fuck yeah!
And like, I looked and I was like, oh, okay, like it's glass. There's just like panes of glass. But you know what? Like, I looked up at it, and I looked at how it was constructed, and I was like, you know what? I trust these guys. But these guys were the ones telling me, like, hey, man, be careful. But meanwhile, like, yeah, I trust these guys. They've done stuff like this before. So I just stood right underneath it because, like, that's what I do. Like, I have never not gotten in the ring because it's a death match. Like, I always find a way in. Like, that's one of my and honestly, that's one of my fucking favorite things to do in wrestling because I've been around deathmatch wrestling for so goddamn long, and like being involved with it, like, so it's always a fun little thing to like not watch them put it together or not know what the plan is, and then walk out and just be like, oh my god, what am I, like, how do I get in it? Like, and then sometimes, like, getting in is fine, but then it's like, yo, how do I get out of here? Like, like, gracefully, like, how do I, like, because like I want to get out of there as quickly as possible so the match can get started. Like, like, once I got it, like, once I introduce everybody and like everybody's all hyped up, like, I want out, like, get the match started.
And you gotta get out without ripping those dope ass shirts that you wear too.
Yeah.
Those fucking all over print ones, man. Where do you find them?
Instagram. I'm all on these Instagram guys.
Nice.
Instagram and like Discord and like just
that one with I really like that one with Mick Foley on the front and Terry Funk on the back.
Yeah, that shit was rad.
Oh yeah, that's the Stash Pages joint. My man, at Silvermore on
Okay.
Twitter. Yeah, look him up.
Nice.
Stashpages.us. That's his webpage, but he's the one that put that one out like a little while ago. Yeah, but I had to bring that out for the deathmatch tournament
Oh yeah,
because it's
Why
from the
not? Of
deathmatch
course.
tournament.
of course.
You know what I mean?
So you
Yeah.
talked a little bit about getting involved in wrestling. How did that happen? How did you get into the business?
Mm, well, there was a good there was a local independent that had their first show in May of 2007. And I went to it and I thought it was fun. And the next day, I'm working at my job, TGI Fridays, and I overhear a guy talking to his kids about the same show
Oh
that I
wow.
had went to the night before. But I'm listening, and they're actually my table. So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna listen to this conversation and figure out how to, get a bigger tip out of this because there's a shared interest. So as I'm listening, I come to find out that this guy's kind of tuned in. He's kind of plugged in because he's like the way he's talking.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I get it. This is May 2007. I had been watching wrestling since June 1995. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've kind of figured some things out, and then I'm listening to it, and then I'm like, oh hey, I was at that show too. Oh, I work for them. I knew that, but from listening in,
Right.
that's why I butted in. And I'm like, oh yeah, wow, really? I mean, that was their first show, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, wow, their attendance was really good. You know, I was, and I was like, I'm like, you can tell, some of those kids were students, but they held their own, and the veterans were cool. And he was like, so then when I started talking that, he kind of looked at me a little bit different,
Right.
and he was like, oh okay. He was like, we started chopping it up a little bit. All right, cool, whatever. So, but whenever they became my regulars at that particular TGI Fridays, and we would always chop it up about wrestling. And then I saw him at a PWU show in September of 2007. And then we were he actually was sitting right behind me in the bleachers, and we had a nice little fun conversation, da da da, whatever. And then it continues on, and then keeps coming around to my job, and I keep waiting his table, and we keep talking about wrestling. And then one day it turns out that I tell him that, I would like to do commentary one day. Okay, cool, whatever. That's what he did. Okay.
Right.
So then time goes on. Now flash forward all the way to fucking November 2008, right? So this is a solid year and a half after
Yeah.
I met this guy, a legit year and a half, from 507 to 1108, legit year and a half. So I show up to this show, and this is, I had been going to almost all of their shows throughout this time. They were my local indie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I show up to the show. There's I remember vividly, there's a torrential downpour. The show is supposed to start at 7:30 or whatever. I show up at 7:25 or 7:55 and 8 o'clock, however it is. I remember showing up 5 minutes before bell time. And this guy, whose name was John Solo, finds me as I'm coming in, and he's like, "Oh, hey, were you so interested in doing commentary one day or whatever? Yeah, absolutely. He was like, oh, well, good. I didn't think you were coming. Anyway, I told the promoter, you're an expert on Breaker Morant. It's going to be me and you on match number 4. And I'm like, wait a second, what? I said, I'm doing commentary tonight. He said, yeah. I told the promoter you knew a lot about this wrestler. Breaker Morant, really good wrestler. A local guy to the like South Jersey, Philadelphia scene. Got his name from the movie of the same ilk in the 80s, Breaker Morant. Really good dude. But honestly, I wasn't an expert on him. I had just seen him wrestle on previous Force One Pro Wrestling
Yeah,
shows.
this guy lied to get you into where you wanted to be.
Right, and I'm like,
That's
all right,
though.
cool. So then I do the match, and then I wind up doing like another like match and a half, and like I have the DVD of that show, and like I sound absolutely terrible. Like it's just like you can tell that like at that point in time in my life, I didn't know how to utilize my voice as an instrument. Like I wasn't necessarily speaking with purpose. I wasn't making like I was talking, I was speaking, but I wasn't making pointed comments. I wasn't like my speech patterns and inflections weren't interesting. Like it wasn't cool to listen to me talk then, like it is now. Like and I feel like wrestling, especially having like doing all this vocal work through wrestling, like has made me a better communicator. Like I just speak different now. Like it's like I speak in a more cool way. You know, because I hear myself on that first show, like whenever I pop it in, like to humble myself, and I'm like, ugh, that shit sucked. But that night I did a couple matches. I went back to my job. I hung out. I was like, wow, this is cool. Then a couple of the bigger name talents, aka Judas Young and Inferno Kid, Danny Jamondo, came in and like to the bar, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna hang out with these guys. And then I just like, oh hey, I did work on a wrestling show for the first time ever. And then we just shot the shit about old New Jersey independent stuff from the last like 10 years previous at that point in time. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like popping those guys for like what I knew about what they did. And like, you know, it just like that first night for me in the business was so cool. Like I never looked back.
It has to be. I mean,
oh,
I can't imagine.
Incredible.
It'd be so cool. I mean, I've dreamt about doing the ring announcing or the commentary. I've even in my youth thought about like, man, I'd love to work in the wrestling business, but I don't know if I want to be a wrestler. Like, I'd want to do like the commentary.
Oh
like,
yeah, I can't do it.
I grew up listening.
Neither can I.
I grew up listening to Tony Schiavone, JR, Mike Tenay, even Michael Cole to some extent, King.
Yep.
So like the commentary was just fucking incredible when I was a child.
Bobby Heenan, WCW's best.
And so yeah, I loved the idea of doing commentary because I'm like, that's a job that I could do where I could hang out with wrestlers all fucking day and just hype them up.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of go back to like when you met up with these dudes at the bar, and you must have felt great and being able to pop them, because one time I went to a show in Beaver County because my ex's step-brother-in-law, he had just got released from WWE Developmental, and he was in town for a show. So we decided to go out there. And afterwards, the whole family and some of the wrestlers went to Eaton Park to eat. And among those wrestlers was Pepper Parks, Shane Taylor when he just started, started. and Brody Lee. And
Yeah.
and I told my ex at the time, I said, I hope you know that we're not sitting with your family. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm fucking sitting with them, dude. Like, I don't care what you do. And so we sat there, and it was so fucking cool because, like, you know, they don't expect you to know things. Or,
Right.
like you said, you were popping them for your knowledge about what they did and what the scene was 10 years ago. And I remember Shane was very reserved and quiet because he kind of has a speech impediment. He's gotten way better with it. And at that point, Pepper Parks was being looked at by WWE. So he was kind of like, I don't want to say a douchebag, but he was kind of cocky. But the one who was like super down to earth and I talked to the most was Brody. And I remember getting into a conversation about like, we were like, who's your top 5 right now? And in WWE. And I was like, Jericho, Punk. And then he was like, oh, you're going to say the trifecta. And I was like, who's the trifecta? And he said, Randy Orton. I said, no, man. And I said somebody else. I don't remember. And then like me and him got into like a heated debate about how good Batista was because Brody loved Batista. And I at the time I just
Batista fucking rules.
Oh,
Yes.
now who I am now loves Batista. But me then, if it wasn't technical, if it wasn't strong style, if it wasn't flippy shit, I wasn't really into it. And I was just like, he's just a musclehead who does like 4 moves. Like, fuck him. And Brody was like, you don't even understand, like this and that and everything. And it was just so fucking cool to like.
So
sit
he
there
kind of
and
gave
talk.
you like a new perspective on how to view guys like that.
Well,
right?
Oh yeah.
kinda, but it didn't hit me until like later.
Yeah,
Because-
but that happens though.
Yeah, but like it was so cool to like just bullshit with him and like, so I know where you're coming from like that, like that
Because like
scenario.
now, like me, like as an adult now, I think back and all those wrestlers that I despised as a child were fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, man. My
Great
most
at their
hated,
job.
Right.
My most hated wrestler when I was growing up was Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I got back into wrestling, I really appreciated him and I thought he was fantastic. And then I heard all the stories from all the podcasts that I listened to and I was like, dude, this guy's great. And then like when I was a kid, I didn't appreciate, I mean, I did appreciate the technical stuff and all that shit, but I never realized how good Mr. Perfect was. And then when I got back into wrestling, I bought the Perfect DVD and I was like, man, he was so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
But,
Yeah. What's your favorite Mr. Perfect match? I'll put you on the spot.
That's easy. The SummerSlam match against Bret Hart. And also the top, I think his top matches all involve Bret Hart. I think there was 3 instances on tape that it actually happened, but Kurt Hennig and Bret Hart had, like, you know,
okay, so
they had the best
what
chemistry
are the
together.
3 matches? Let's put you to the test
I think
because I know what they are.
Ooh.
I mean I know what the ones that jump out.
Well, there's the SummerSlam match. I think the other big match happened on a King of the Ring.
Correct.
And the other one that is on tape was a house show in New York.
What year? Give me a year.
If I had to guess, because I'm not like you, man. Obviously, you're like my friend Drake. You have dates in your brain.
Yeah, I'm a weird. I like you notice. Like you notice
my
all the
friend,
time I'm
my
doing
friend
my
Drake
ring announcing.
it can be blonde about everything. But if I need to know when something happened in our personal lives or not, he will know the date to the exact everything.
Right.
And
like that's the thing. Like you notice when I ring announce, like I never like look at notes. I never have note cards. I never use my phone. Like I just like say this stuff. Like I just know it. Like wrestling I know wrestling. I don't know anything else.
I know wrestling,
like-
but I don't know dates.
And I'll admit it, when I see a ring announcer using note cards a little bit, I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
but anyway, I'm going to have to guess. You
Probably
said
the
you
90s.
started watching in '95, but I think
Right, but that
but I
doesn't-
think
that
it was
doesn't
before
mean-
then.
Absolutely.
But it had to be in the '90s, so I'm gonna say either late '92 or early '93.
I wish it was, but the match that you're thinking of was actually, I believe, April '89.
Oh shit! So that was like
house show.
So
that was their
like,
first one.
Yeah, so
That
that was
was like-
Brett
Mhm.
just starting in the Hart Foundation type shit. And
Yeah. Let me actually. When did that? You said that was on a Mr. Perfect DVD.
yeah, it was either on the Perfect DVD or it was on the Bret Hart one.
The Brett Dungeon Collection.
No,
maybe?
no, the original one.
No.
It's him. It's white
The-
and pink. It had like 2 or 3 discs.
Yeah, hold on. I'm at my DVD thing right now. Okay. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Pull the thing out here.
we're getting this live. It's happening live. Tim's being proven
Wait,
wrong
is that-
live on camera, and I can't be happier.
No. Wait a second. Hold on. I don't think it's on this Brett. No, it's not on this Brett one
Then
because
it must be on the Perfect one.
it's got to be on the Perfect because this Brett one. It's got
Hakushi, Ted DiBiase, Cup. One or two
it's
of
got
Perfect.
the March '89 DiBiase match.
Yeah, that
which
was
is
good.
really good. It's
Mhm.
got the SummerSlam '91 match. It's got the King of the Ring '93 match,
Yeah,
but it doesn't have the house show. It's got the In Your House match with Hakushi, which that match is awesome. But I kind of prefer the
Let me
match
see
that
if
they
I
had
can
on
find
Monday
it
Night
here.
Raw.
I agree. I 100%
when-
agree.
When Hakushi busted out the space flying tiger drop on American Wrestling TV for like the first time.
Yeah,
ever.
they really tried to get Jinsei's partner, but Hayabusa was
Brett
Much
Hitman
more
Hart
loyal.
versus Mr. Perfect. It's on YouTube. What month? What month is 6? June?
June.
June
June
3rd.
Oh wait,
June 3rd,
June
1989.
3rd. That's
Yep.
okay. Why did I say April? What happened in April? What was April '89? I feel like April '80. I feel like April '89. Something
It's just
happened.
like in your head there. Yeah.
Yeah, for like either one of those guys, they had a match with somebody. Maybe April '89, I guess technically WrestleMania 5, Mr.
Right,
Perfect
right.
versus Blue Blazer. Who
So it was a
technically
heart
is
then.
a
Yeah.
heart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
could be like what I'm trying
Why
to
you-
like remember, but
Right.
I mean, but regardless, yeah, the June 3rd, word of Masawa Kawada on that. That June 3rd '89 match is really good.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think Hennig brought the best out of Hogan as well. At least the American Hogan. And
Sure.
Big Boss Man did too.
Yeah.
He did great with Hogan as well.
So you have a quality that I love in commentators, where you have this encyclopedic knowledge,
Oh, thank you.
which is something that I love about Mike Tenay, something that I love
Yeah.
about Excalibur.
Somebody, there
Um,
always has to be
Kevin
somebody.
Kelly.
And if there isn't, I don't
Well,
like it.
not so much Kevin Kelly, but that British guy that does New
Chris
Japan,
Charlton.
Chris Charlton,
And
who does
fucking,
with Kevin Kelly.
and
Matt
Stryker.
Stryker even to a point. But So talking about that stuff, what commentators have influenced you or your style, or do you kind of do your own thing but still appreciate them?
Let's see. Like definitely Mike Tenay, because
See,
I like whenever he would
love
like
Mike
pop
Tenay.
on. Yeah, like but like not necessarily like TNA Mike Tenay,
Right,
I mean
WCW.
he was good. Like don't get me wrong, Mike Tenay
Yeah.
like was good like as like the guy, and especially with Don West. That was a
Yes.
great
Don
that was a
West, man.
great team.
Yes. But
Fucking
like Mike
amazing.
Tenay, though, WCW Monday Nitro, the Professor Mike Tenay.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
how they
When he
would
would
use
just
him, and how they used him, because they
right.
knew Eric Bischoff knew. Okay, I got these guys from Mexico. I got these guys from Japan. I'm going to need someone here who's going to be able to talk it so
Who knows
that
it?
the audience can understand it better, because this is not something that mainstream viewers have seen.
Right.
Yeah, like and Mike Tenay, like when he was just like coming in as like the fucking random factoid guy, like I thought
Iron
that was
Mike.
so cool.
Pop up Mike Tenay, baby.
Yeah, like and like I
Pop up
vividly
video for
remember,
wrestling.
like Mike Tenay saying like the first time that he said it, that Rey Mysterio Jr. used to be called El Calibre. That's Spanish for the hummingbird. Like, okay, I remember that vividly. And then like I remember like the first time I saw somebody do like a full surfboard up in the air. And Mike Tenay was like, "Oh, La Tapatia, the Rita Romero special," and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." Like I vividly remember the first time hearing him say that, and like, there was like a lucha match one time, and they did this spot where like the four of the six dudes were like in the middle of the ring, and they were kind of doing like the row the boat spot, and then the other two did the Rana into the pin in the middle of that, and Mike Tenay was like, "That's called the Star," and like he had so much enthusiasm in his voice, like you could tell that he was like actively enjoying what he was doing. So like I picked up on all of that like when I was a kid. I was like, man, this Mike Tenay guy, like this guy fucking rules.
Same with me. Same with me.
But beyond him, I would say like I love Lance Russell from Memphis. I don't know how much of like classic Memphis wrestling you've watched from the 80s.
Not
but
much,
like
but I have heard his name thrown around on JR's podcast.
Oh, he's great.
Another one that they
obviously
talked about,
JR.
Yeah, JR.
Tony Schiavone.
Another one that they talked about a lot is Gordon Solie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon Solie is a little bit
rigid.
No. Because like I feel like his best stuff is stuff that isn't necessarily available,
right?
Per se, because like you got a lot of his 80s stuff available, but like I bet that Solie stuff, like if WWF just fucked around on Peacock and was like, oh, by the way, here's some 1977 championship wrestling from Florida with Gordon Solie. I bet you all that shit would be fire. but we don't we don't have that. You know what I mean? Like it's not around. Like
right.
I mean, I might sound like a fool. Like somebody's gonna come up like, oh, I got the whole season the 90s of 77.
Oh yeah, there's
Florida.
There's like
nobody's
I think it's like
that.
IP video, and there's like other
IVP.
Yeah, and there's like other places that you could people
who
were tape traders back then.
There's some guy that has a basement full of VHSs.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
these are the guys who had those basement full of VHSs converted that shit into DVD,
Right.
and now you can find it. Because like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I was a huge Ultimate Dragon fan, but like, I didn't know what tape trading was when I was fucking 8. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, there's so much good wrestling that I missed out on just because I was young, and I didn't have the access to it. And I went on those sites and bought like, like a 9-disc set of Ultimate Dragon and like
Right.
a fucking 5-disc set of Ricochet and shit. And like Jack Evans right now, like I made a tweet a few weeks ago or something, and I was like, imagine if Jack Evans got this type of exposure in the early to mid 2000s. Like, people would look at him like they look at Ospreay and Ricochet,
Right?
Because he's
that Jack Evans that in 04, 05 Ring of Honor,
CMLL, fucking all that shit. Like, that
PWG.
dude was on fire.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff I've seen with him and Teddy Hart, fucking phenomenal. Whether they were against each other or tag
him
teaming.
and Teddy is one thing. But him and Roderick Strong, that's the fucking team right there.
Yeah.
Jack Evans and Roderick Strong, fucking bang.
I look at Roderick Strong as
he's one of the best of all time.
A more charismatic Dean Malenko.
Right.
Like, he has more charisma than Dean, but his skill level is on par. Like, the dude can just...
I think he's literally one of the best wrestlers of all time. Like,
But I didn't get into him until he got into NXT, because whenever I watched ROH with him, it just seemed like he didn't have enough character. Like, I respected him as a wrestler, but I was just like, there's nothing drawing me particularly to him. And then once he got into NXT, he was able to create or find that character or find that charisma.
Especially when the era started.
Yeah, because before that, it was all based on his like real life and like it was odd.
Like in the mid 2000s, like when I was like, because I'm born in December '86, so like I'm old.
I was born in April '88, so it's all right.
All right, fair.
He's
I'm
watching the young boy.
I'm watching the fucking Ring of Honor. Like, I'm real early into it. Like, my first Ring of Honor show that I went to live was Final Battle 2003, but I had been watching it like on TV for a year prior. They had local TV here in Philadelphia, WGTW 48. I've been watching that.
See, I missed all that shit because whenever I got into high school, I loved wrestling, but I also loved music. And whenever I got into high school, I immediately wanted to start a band.
Right.
And like, I had other things on my mind other than wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And then
I was heavy wrestling. I was only wrestling ever.
Right.
That's it.
And then like the thing that got me back into it, which is really weird, me and my friends came back for summer break from college the first year, and we heard on the news that Benoit died. And we didn't hear all the shit. We didn't hear all the shit yet. We just heard that he died. And we started reminiscing about, wrestling in general and like how much we loved Bret Hart and Diesel and fucking this and that. And then we started making up like stories and jokes about like, I don't even.
By the way, let me make an aside real quick because I never mentioned like my favorite Bret Hart Mr. Perfect match was actually their King of the Ring '93 match. I never said that earlier.
Yeah.
And you just said Bret Hart. Now it reminded me of that. But yeah, go ahead. You love Bret. You love Diesel.
Yeah, we were just talking about all those old guys and everything, and then like the next day, we went to FYE, bought the Bret Hart DVD, bought WrestleMania 1 through 10, Soon thereafter, we started watching WWE again, and then I started, like, the passion was just reignited, and I went on, like, you go on to YouTube dives and all that shit, and I found Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson and ROH, and I found, like, Dragon Gate USA and all that shit, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do for the past 4 or 5 years? Like, where have I been? And then I realized
once
that's the type of shit that I like.
And then once, like, 2009 rolled around, when Jeff Jarrett's what was it called? Global
the pyramid
wrestling,
Global Force.
The absolute pyramid scheme. We're not going to get into that. But when they were able to get New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 9, I believe it was, on pay-per-view, and that's when I discovered Puro, and I was like, oh, this is the shit.
Yeah. I had dabbled, like, I loved Ultimo Dragon was, like, one of my top 5s when I was watching wrestling originally.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't didn't realize, like,
real shit real quick about Ultimo Dragon, like you'll appreciate this. Like, I remember being what year is this? 96. So I was 9 going on 10, maybe 10 years old. I vividly remember because it was late 96. I'm December birthday. So, like, I'm talking on the phone with my uncle, and we're talking about wrestling, and I'm like, yo, this Ultimo Dragon guy ain't no joke. Like, I'm like 9 or 10 years old. Like, I'm like either just turned 10 or I'm like very, very old 9. And I'm like, yo, Ultimo Dragon, like, yo, he's got 9 belts right now. Like, yo, he's got that whole J crown going on. And like I'm talking on the phone with my uncle about wrestling. Like, and it was crazy because, like, I remember talking to my uncles, like, real smart about wrestling, like, because I was on the internet, like, I was reading the magazines, like, I was keeping my eyes and ears peeled, everything. And I'm like, yo, like, I remember telling my one uncle, I'm like, yeah, man, I popped for the heels. I was 10 years old. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
No, I know.
What does that mean?
I know, dude. I know how it is, but I didn't have anybody to talk about it with.
Right.
Everybody at school who watched wrestling didn't view it like that.
Like,
and I would even write like a Monday Night Raw or a Nitro of my own and do it all, and I'd bring it into school and I'd give it to my friends. And they were like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Did this happen last night? I gotta watch it. No. And I was like, no, I made this up. And they're like, holy shit. But, like, I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, but I didn't have a family member like that who looked at it like that. Because whenever I would literally watch since I was a toddler because my Aunt Cheryl would put me in front of the TV when she babysat.
Uh-huh.
And my first memory of wrestling was Ultimate Warrior and Hogan. And then my cousin, who's 7 years older than me, he loved wrestling, but once he found out it was predetermined or whatever, he got out of it, and then he became an MMA guy. But now I'll send him stuff from Japan, and I'll be like, dude, this guy did MMA. Look at this guy's shit. Like, yeah, it might be whatever you think it is, but this is rad. And he'll be like, I definitely appreciate this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, Ultimo Dragon, like, I knew that I loved Ultimo Dragon. I knew that I loved Rey Mysterio Jr. I knew that I loved, those are Juventud Guerrero. But it, like, I didn't know what tape trading was, and I didn't know what Puro was or anything like that. I was just like, I like this shit. So, like, whenever I got back into it and I saw ROH and this and that, and I found Dragon Gate USA, and then I was into that. I ordered a bunch of DVDs, and then fucking Danielson got fired from WWE and wrestled Shingo. and I believe this was like the same weekend that Davey Richards fought Naruki Doi, and like that shit was so fucking good, and I was like, I have to find everything that I can on Naruki Doi and Shingo, and like, and now we're seeing where Shingo is at the top of Japan, just like
top,
when it happened, when he got the title, dude, I fucking shed tears because I was just like, I can't believe it, but I can't believe it, and it's insane. Like but like there's so much that I need to go back and watch because like, you know, everybody talks about the 4 pillars, and and like I'm gonna be honest, I've read about it, I've seen some clips, I've seen Kobashi and Kensuke. I'm not even going to try his first name. Sasuke?
Kensuke.
Yeah.
Kensuke.
Yeah. I've seen that match, and, like, I love that shit, but I need to go back and, like, engross myself in it, and I just don't have the time because, like, you know, we got this podcast going and shit, so it's, like, we have to stay up on everything, and, like, myself, like, it's me, John, and sometimes our friend Sid, and we'll do top 10 favorite matches of the month every second week of the month. And Sid only watches NXT and AEW unless I tell him, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
So we let him pick first, and then John, because he watches a little bit less than me, and then I come in and fill the blanks.
Right.
And like, I'm just so engrossed in wrestling right now that I don't have the time.
Yeah, and like what I'm watching
to watch that stuff, but I want to. Like, I need to find
early
ROH.
You gotta chill with all this modern shit, and you gotta carve out time for some classic stuff because like you can't just watch all modern shit all the time.
Oh no, we don't.
You just can't. You just can't. Like, it's impossible.
And it was so easy on the network because this Peacock shit's garbage. But like,
Peacock
so
sucks.
Like the navigation sucks. The fucking like
okay,
network was so easy.
Let's hold on real quick. Peacock as a streaming service is not bad,
right?
However, for professional wrestling purposes, we were spoiled by the network.
Right.
Yeah.
And because that layout, that navigation, that everything it had going for it was perfectly set up for professional wrestling.
And I only used it to watch old shit.
Not.
And he would make fun of me. He would be like, I'd come over his house and he'd be like, "Oh, what'd you do? Stay up all night watching Starrcade '85?" And I'm like, actually,
Great show.
You prick.
I have said that.
Great show.
Well, I was just spitballing the year.
I'm into other fandoms.
The Gathering, Starrcade '85, The Gathering, brother. Here's the thing, like.
But modern wrestling is
you gotta
good.
Like, yeah, it is, but you gotta diversify. You gotta
diversify my blogs.
Right. I'm never happy. Word of Wu-Tang. I'm never happy watching just one kind of shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like right now,
I get into Joshi modes. I get into Pro modes. I get into lately.
Sure.
I've been on my independent mode. Like, and then like when I watch a GCW show, and there's guys who aren't like GCW mainstays or whatever mainstays. I'll go and look on Cage Match to see where this particular guy wrestled, and then I'll go on IWTV and like go on a fucking spree. You know what I mean? So it's like
perfect. But hey,
it's like obsessive.
Look, here's the thing. Like, IWTV is a fucking great application or website, whatever. Like, But here's the thing, like people aren't really digging where they should be digging on IWTV, man. Like there's all these battle art shows from Japan. There's all this
On IWTV?
IWRG. Oh
He's giving you the
yeah.
scoop, man. Take notes.
You didn't know?
No, dude. I like the
Oh,
shit
dude.
that I follow on there is Beyond, WWR Plus, fucking Limitless,
AAW.
ICW, No Holds
Do you
Barred
see-
Cool.
Do you
And-
see how expansive their video on demand library is though? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, but the
Like-
thing is, like, when I'm browsing, I'll just hit something, and I won't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like the time I got this Newfound Glory album. It was the one with I Should Have Listened to My Friends. I forget what it's called, but like the first 5 songs were so fucking good. Did I never listen to the rest of the record? I just fucking like banged out those 5 songs, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." You know, like
You gotta explore though. You
Right.
gotta explore. Like that's the thing. Like the things that I like checking out on IWTV. I fucking love battle arts. I love that there's so much battle arts in one place now. Like I remember back in the day, I would have
that's
to
a
be on
Japanese
fucking-
promotion, right?
Japanese promotion.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I would have to fucking go on Mega Upload to fucking download the shit,
Uh-huh.
you know, just so I could watch it. Like now it's just like there. IWRG is a promotion out of Mexico. Like I remember back in 2010, Black Terry Jr. was
Black
uploading
Terry?
his
I know him. He got hit
Black
by the
Terry.
firework. He got hit by the
come on.
firework, dude.
he was putting up the fucking his handheld shits in like 2010. They got all those stuffs on there. Like, wow, that's incredible. Lucha Mimes out of Mexico right now is absolutely killing it. Like, that's what I like to watch. I like to watch like the Japanese stuff. I like to watch the lucha like on IWTV, and then of course the classic, and I'm talking about 01 through like 07. That period of independent wrestling, whether it's fucking Wildside, CZW, Jersey All Pro, Chikara, goddamn, you name it, it's amazing.
Right.
ICW, you know, their stuff from 2001 through 2003 that I believe is available on IWTV. Not all of it is there, but more of it should be there eventually, I hope.
Right.
Like, I'm always bitching at IWTV. Yo, put more shit up. Yo, like IWA Mid-South from the early 2000s is incredible.
Speaking of
right.
putting up more stuff,
People don't know.
fucking all the ROH stuff that I want to watch is not available on Honor Club, so I won't fucking buy it.
Right.
And I guess that has to do with rights
Probably with
and
Sinclair, yeah.
shit like that. And
Music and shit. I don't
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
I don't know either. But
I got-
they need to
I
fucking
got the
find a way.
DVDs.
I got DVDs
I got-
too. I mean, like I have
I'm good.
one of those. What were the New York shows called? Manhattan Mayhems. I have some of them.
Oh.
I have
Manhattan Mayhem that had Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal versus Homicide and Loki, and that's
Yeah.
when they did the double stomp cop killer
yeah.
combination to
Yeah.
Jay Lethal. Yeah, fuck yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, those shows were awesome, and like I have,
Yo, I haven't seen that show in literal years, and I can still remember that.
right.
That shit is amazing.
Well, when something hits you like that, you
Right.
can't forget it.
Exactly.
And-
Oh my god, I was so heavy into Ring of Honor at that time.
And the-
like,
That reminds me of a funny story as well. Like when me and my buddies first started watching wrestling again, we were watching. I want to say it was Great American Bash or something like that. Yeah, it was the Great American Bash where it started off with Hardy and Umaga, and they went outside, and Hardy hit a swanton off of one of the trucks. But the last match,
Damn, when was this? Like 2008,
8 or 8, probably
9, 2008,
something like that.
2008.
Yeah, and one of the main events. The main event was like there was Cena and Batista, but I don't think it closed the show because it was a Hell in a Cell with Taker and Edge. And
Yeah,
we
this
thought
sounds like a 2008 card.
we thought the show was over, and I went outside to have a cigarette. My friend's dad comes out and goes, "Farley, you're never gonna believe what happened." And without even looking at him, I took a drag from my cigarette, and I was like, "The Undertaker choke slammed him off the ladder through the fucking canvas, and flames came up." And he was like, "How the fuck did you know that?" And I was like, "I know wrestling, man." Like I don't know.
Yeah, when he chokeslammed Edge
Yes.
to hell.
Right.
Yes.
But I didn't view it. He came out to tell me, and I told him what happened, and it was just hysterical. He was like, "Are you a wizard
Yeah,
or something?" And I was
sometimes-
like, "I'm just obsessed. I don't fucking know."
Sometimes people are just wrestling whisperers and they just know what the fuck is happening.
Right. Like
So,
with this
God
Nick
knows I've
Gage
been there.
thing,
Yes.
before we get into the next question, this Nick Gage thing, Nick Gage is not a man to be bought.
No.
That dude may put the hurt on Jericho, but I will expect him to put the hurt on MJF as well.
Yeah.
Well, if MJF comes up stingy with that paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
you know what it is. MDK all fucking
Pizza
day.
cutter in the
Like,
fucking mouth.
Day.
Let's
All
go.
fucking day. And,
pizza cutter in the mouth.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, it's great.
So-
This is a great interview because we're
Yeah.
just bullshitting about wrestling, which is
Vibing.
fantastic.
As
We're
we're coming,
vibing.
Yeah,
as
we're
we're
vibing.
coming into the wind down here, I have a few more questions.
Yeah, we got a few more.
I want to start with, I want to know what has been your favorite match to call on commentary.
On commentary. Ooh. Shit. Because, like, I remember, like the ring announcing ones are, like, kind of, like, more easy to remember.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I did. You know what? Maybe... RSP Engage. I mean that whole
Yeah, that was good.
that whole thing at the Collective, you know what I mean? Like from the ring announcements to calling their match, like that to me was just a very special night. Like I don't know if that's like the answer, but like that right now, like that's the first thing that's coming to me. Like,
And
Right.
you
that it was a really special night.
right,
It really was.
and you commentate for other promotions like JCW and I believe Hybrid as well. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That fucking Mance versus Manders match from Roll the Dice was
Yeah.
fantastic, and
Yeah. They hit each other a lot.
I just
And
loved
hard.
the flow of it, man. Like it was like, okay, they're friends and they're jaw jacking a little bit. Now they're slapping and chopping a little bit. Now it's getting harder. Now there's a fucking move. Now they're outside. Now they're
Right.
having a shot. I mean, it was just fucking
Yeah.
bad, you know, like
They went hard.
and people
That's
don't understand that. And I was talking about this with another fan today. Like, people talk about storytelling and psychology, and a lot of the time, fans view that as a WWE thing. And if it's not done the WWE way, that it's not, these shows or matches don't have psychology or storytelling. That match right there was all storytelling.
Yeah.
All the way,
yeah, like
all the way until the end when Warren Mance called out Effie to the ring. You know, that was all storytelling.
like to me, I feel like it's a lot of people that talk about like or try to talk about or try to talk about storytelling and wrestling.
Right.
That just like
don't
watch shit else outside of wrestling. It's like, yo, like there's multiple ways to tell a story. Like just because like it ain't hit you the way that it hit like all these other people doesn't mean that there wasn't a story. Like
I'd say
y'all gotta chill. Like
I'd say there's even different ways to tell the same story.
Right. Yeah.
Of course there is.
Yeah, like I don't need to see Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley wrestle each other on Monday Night Raw fucking 8 times in a week, where AEW has
the analogy that I always use.
Has a feud, a long-standing feuds or whatever, and they do different things. Maybe this week it's a vignette. Maybe this week it's an attack. Maybe this week they're wrestling somebody who's associated with that person. Maybe there's a multi-person match.
Yes.
It's not just fucking Darby Allin against Ethan Page every goddamn week.
Yeah,
and,
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I fucking hate it too.
WWF got it so fucked up.
Right.
Because like their roster is so crazy. They could put it on WCW mode. Like when they was like, yo, WCW like Nitro, WCW, like any of them WCW TV shows. Like they would have programs with somebody else, but they would come out just wrestling randoms.
Bro, I saw some
no problem.
I saw some like comments this week from people, and 2 of them stuck out. One of them was, it seems that Vince McMahon's biggest threat to himself, like in his mind, isn't AEW or anything else, it's NXT. And I thought it was hilarious and on point.
Yeah.
Then I saw another one that said like, fucking like, you know, they got the best roster that they've ever had. And they don't know what they're doing anymore. And like, how do you?
They have.
This was the other comment that I read that stuck out to me, and it was like, son of a bitch, I just had it. Well, you two talk while
they have an incredibly expansive roster, and you see the same 7-8 people on the shows every week.
They said that NXT is not developmental for WWE main roster. It's developmental for AEW. And like I was just like, that's hysterical, because you've seen most of the AEW people who came from WWE, which, you know, the WWE universe fans don't want to acknowledge this. They weren't fired. Most of them were people who waited out their contracts and decided not to sign.
Yeah.
And there's this whole narrative that, they're just rejects. No, they're not. They weren't the rejected. They rejected WWE.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you have a motherfucker like Aleister Black / Tommy End, whatever. You let him sit at home for longer than expected. You build him up for over a month, and the week that he's supposed to make his in-ring re-debut, you fucking fire him. Like, fuck you. Like, I fuck you. That's all I could say.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea about the goings on of any of these individuals. Like, up until this past week, when it's been like Return Mania,
right?
You know, people I care about,
you
know, John Cena and shit. Like WWF, like I have not given a fuck about for like the longest, like for the longest time that I can remember.
I honestly,
like a handful of months. Like even when WWF has been bad historically in the past, like there's always been something to their programming that I fucked with. You know, like okay, Raw sucks, but like Sunday Night Heat isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like at least there was like a little bit of something that I could look forward to. Like even in like 2012, like like
It's
like
just like
2013, 2013, the shit was hitting, but like 2012, like I don't know, but like that matches on like fucking main event or superstars, those shits will be hitting. So like
Goldust versus
can,
Chris Jericho on main event was fucking awesome.
Right. So like for the longest time, I was saying like, yo, there's never been a time where WWF has been actively bad 100%. Up until this recent era, like this, like Thunderdome, COVID, like, yo, there's that idiot promoter trying to say that the Thunderdome is better than having fans in the building.
Yeah,
you hear that?
I saw that.
Pop?
I saw that.
Do you hear that fucking pop when John Cena's music hit?
Yeah,
that pure, unadulterated, just feeling. Yeah, you don't get that from no Thunderdome.
When
Get
Edge
your
came out
bitch
during
ass promoter.
SmackDown, the first one back, fucking people went nuts.
Stupid
People
ass.
were going nuts the whole time. Yeah, there's so many fucking morons that watch wrestling.
Yo, this guy said he was a fucking promoter, and he would rather have the Thunderdome than fans.
Yeah, well, you know what?
He
probably don't understand.
He probably
massively sucks at his job.
That's what I was going to say. He probably doesn't know how to draw people to his fucking shows.
Fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot.
I'm so glad to hear somebody in the business say that, because from
he's
the
a
outside,
fucking more. If you don't have
from
fans,
the outside
what the
looking
fuck
in,
are you doing?
Yes. Because I'm so glad to hear somebody in the business say that, because from the outside looking in, I'm looking at this going, am I the idiot? Am I tripping?
No, because we make our money through people paying money to come see us. If you don't have people paying money to come see us, what the fuck are we doing?
He's either really a promoter,
WWE fucking dirty.
He's either not a promoter, or he's really fucking bad at it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Both. He's both. Fucking terrible.
But like main roster, I don't watch, but I will watch NXT UK and NXT. Maybe not the day that it airs, but I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But like, it's sad because I can get invested in all these guys and girls on those shows and know in my head that when the time comes, I'm not going to watch them anymore.
Yeah.
Because 99.9% of the NXT talent, aside from Roman Reigns, the Four Horsewomen, and Xavier Woods, who only got over because of his own, by doing New Day. But like, everybody else is just a flop. And they fucking changed their name to something stupid.
Or
like
they remove half of their name.
They put Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart together, took away Blackheart, which is okay. Shotzi sounds fine. But Knox, that's dumb as fuck. It should be Tegan. And I know I'm splitting hairs here, but it's
hard not to.
It's a microcosm of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And they fucking, it's just super sad. And it's like,
I mean, shit. They got a guy on their roster named Eric.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Are you talking about Eric Bugenheim?
No.
He's talking about Rowe.
Oh, God.
Eric and Ivar.
With a K.
Eric and Ivar.
His
when they were
name
Hanson and Rowe. And now they're the Viking Raiders. When War Machine was one of the badass, most fucking names.
Well, they can't use War Machine.
I know, because Marvel
you can't say war.
Can't say war. And there's all these rumors about why they can't say it. Like, they don't want to say war, and also, like, War Machine might be copyrighted by Marvel, all this shit. But, yeah. But, like, the War Raiders, they were allowed to say that on NXT, and they fucking got the pop of the night every time they were on. And now, you see them, and they're going bowling with the Street Profits.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's so stupid.
And then they give you Otis in this Mandy love story, and he's a funny character, and it gets over, and everything's awesome, and everybody fucking loved his stuff in Money
yeah.
in the Bank last year, and then now he's like this shaved fat guy who has to be taken seriously, and it's just like, why are you making these changes that are unnecessary when things
Right.
are working? I don't fucking get it at all.
They always change things that aren't broken.
He
Yeah.
or maybe it's not just him. Maybe it's fucking Nick Khan. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But if I was Triple H, I'd probably cry,
Crying. Yeah.
and then have sex with Stephanie, feel good again, and then have to go through all the fucking motions the next day.
Right.
But anyway, fuck all that noise. So we got your favorite match to call.
Yeah.
What's your
And when we were talking about Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, you said that your favorite match of theirs was King of the Ring 90. Did you say 5? 3?
93.
So
Yes.
So bouncing right off of that,
This is either going to be really hard for you or really easy.
yeah, and that's how it is for everybody. Favorite match period of all time.
Oh, that is incredibly easy for me, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
My
goes either
favorite
way.
match. My favorite match of all time comes from All Japan Pro Wrestling, and it happened on January 20th, 1997. And it was Kenta Kobashi defending the Triple Crown Championship against Mitsuharu Misawa. Oh man, fucking incredible! It was the
Is that
first.
the one where he did a German off of the apron?
No.
Okay.
You're thinking of the one that happened from Pro Wrestling Noah, March 1st,
yeah.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this one happened January 20th, 97 for All Japan Pro Wrestling. It was the first quote unquote All Japan epic I ever watched. I got it.
You know what?
I bought
next week, if we don't get the interview we're gonna get, we should do a watch along with that match.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I mean, I literally watch that match every year on its anniversary. Every January 20th, I watch that match. I celebrate it as if it's a holiday. I really, really enjoy that match. Like I said, it's like the first All Japan epic I ever watched. So like it holds a big value because like that to me, like just a year prior, I had acquired Super J Cup 94 at a RF video gimmick table.
Nice.
So like, you know, like the door to pro wrestling had been open, but like the junior style, I hadn't seen any of the All Japan heavyweight style yet. And I heard like so many things, having been on the internet at that point in time for about 4 years. All you hear about is like, oh my God, the All Japan heavyweights, Sawa, Kawada, Kobashi, Taue, Akiyama, Takayama, all these guys. It's like, oh my God.
And isn't it crazy how good Japanese wrestlers can be all the way into their 60s but
not only them, but like I was just talking to somebody about I was matter of fact, it was Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. I was talking to him about certain luchadors because he had asked me about I had posted a clip about I posted a clip of Ricky Marvin versus Negro Navarro from the most recent Lucha Mimes show that's uploaded to IWTV from July 4th of this year. And he was like, yo, let me get a link. I said, yo, if you got IWTV, it's the most recent show that from this promotion, fuck.
We were talking about longevity.
longevity. Yeah, we were talking about the ages.
Yeah.
I said, yo, Negro Navarro, he's 68. Fucking Solar had a great match with a younger guy on that card, but he's 65. You have Black Terry himself, 68. El Satanico is 71 years old, and he still wrestles on a weekly basis.
What do you think?
Like,
what do you think is the difference of those different cultures or countries rather, and their longevity as opposed to Americans?
I feel like the WWF in-house style really fucked with the way a lot of
The schedule.
other no, in terms of like the WWF in-house style, like where like these guys were like bumping off of every punch.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
like back in the day, you know what I mean? Like them rings were
Now I see
hard
what
as
you're
shit.
saying. Yeah.
Like them rings were hard as shit, and they're bumping off of everything. Like, yeah, that's gonna fuck you up. Meanwhile, you got these the luchadors. They're rolling a whole bunch. Yeah, their
Right.
rings
Yeah,
are hard as
yeah.
hell. They're doing all them rolls, and the Japanese guys, yeah, like they'll go hard like in the big matches, but like the house show schedule, they do tours in Japan, like most of the big companies, like they'll do like 2.5 weeks on tour and then like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
So like 2.5 weeks on tour, they'll go crazy like for like the TV taping or for like the commercial tape that's going to be distributed, but like for like the regular spot show on the tour, like it's going to be a 6-man tag, so they don't have to be bumping like crazy, and they have the time in between tours and in between big matches to rest their body.
And
whereas
on top
in
of
America,
like you were saying with the luchadors rolling,
yeah,
you have in Japan, you can watch a 20-25 minute match, and a lot of it will be stand-up strikes or stand-up lariats, and you're only going to get that lariat that hits the ground after 5 or 6 of them. Mm-hmm. You're only going to get that strike that's going to hit the ground after like 20 of them. And like, yeah, they're taking hard bumps, but they're
taking hard strikes. They're taking meat. It's meat on meat. It's flesh on flesh a lot of the time.
Yeah,
like
I mean, like one of my favorite Puro matches was Nakamura against Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom 9, and that match had a lot of strikes. It had a lot of submissions. I mean, like, yeah, you had some suplexes and the last ride and all that shit, but they're not bumping as much as a Western promotion.
Yeah. But then at the same time, you got a guy like Ricky Morton hitting Canadian Destroyers at the age he is now.
Right.
So it all depends.
But Ricky Morton's only doing it once every quarter.
True. But speaking of Ricky Morton, he's going to be at one of the GCW homecoming nights, correct? Or am I mixing shit up?
No, he's going to be in Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
I thought I might have been fucking that up. Yeah.
He's in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and maybe somewhere else after that.
Okay.
But no, he is not. He's unfortunately not going to be at homecoming.
He's facing Effie at one of those, right?
He's facing Effie in Las Vegas, I believe.
Las Vegas, okay.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I mean, the thing is, like, there's so many things popping off at GCW right now. I mean, we got homecoming, we got LA, we got Vegas, we got the Second City Summit. So you know what I mean? Like, we got all this stuff coming up, and
we were on the mat.
I'm gonna try to be at that Second City Summit, bro. I really am.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it because Black Label Pro's back, and I need to fucking watch that shit. Oh man,
Hell yeah!
So
including
my
GCW,
failed
but
segue into Homecoming, but I still want to know about it. What are you looking forward to for the Homecoming weekend?
Too Cold Scorpio versus Grim Reaper.
I know you're looking forward to that one. You're tweeting about it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, because let me tell you, like, this match is really, really special to me, honestly. Two Gold Scorpio is in my top 5 dead or alive, like, all time. Like, Two Gold Scorpio is one of the greatest wrestlers ever to me.
Yeah.
Also, like, when I first started coming around, like, live to indie wrestling in late 06, early 07, that's when I first saw Grim Reaper, like, for real, like, live. And I'm like, yo, this guy is incredible. Like, I had seen him on tape a couple of times, but, like, seeing him live, like, just seeing the way that he, like, plays around on the road, like, he to me felt like an and one mixtape version of a pro wrestler. And I'm like, yo, this guy rules. And now that is all the way in 2021, and I'm getting like, and it's Grim Reaper versus Too Cold Scorpio. And like Reaper used to, like, when I was like going to indie shows in like 06, 07, like, he was in my top 10 indie guys. You know what I mean? It was like Hero, Claudio, Kingston, Ruckus, Joker, Sabian, Hollow Wicked, Cheech, fucking God damn it, I forget the other one that's not
Hero?
No, I said Hero. Low-Key.
Yeah.
Low-Key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Low-Key?
I think he's a great wrestler.
It's a lot of people who he's a very polarizing person.
I mean, here's the thing.
Even as
he's
a wrestler.
He's a great wrestler.
I remember
he's a great wrestler.
Didn't he like take liberties with a younger guy and like do the rolling kick and actually did it and like knocked the guy out or something?
Nah, shit happens. Whatever. He has had way too many good matches for me to be like, oh, he knocked out a couple of guys a couple of times.
Yeah, but I think like the
whatever,
the idea of it, like the idea from what I've heard is not like it was an accident. It was more like he thinks he's above or like something like that. I don't know.
I mean, that's not for me to say. Like, I don't like,
because personally, whenever I started watching that type of wrestling,
like, I don't care. Like, yeah, like I'm a fan first. Like, I'm not in the ring with anybody. Like, I'm not wrestling nobody. I'm not, like, I don't know how it is to be in the ring with anybody. All I know is your persona and how you wrestle. I don't really give a fuck about anything else. Like, these like little stupid idiot like safety police on like social media need to shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, like that whole fucking Sadiqa thing.
The Sadiqa thing.
Like if she really
people shitting on MV Young about everything he does.
If Sadiqa really was endangering the referee or Kimberly, would she be booked after that?
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, right.
Idiots.
Like, yeah, people are like mad dumb. And it's just like, yo, yo, how do you get into wrestling and then bitch about how safe it's supposed to be? Like, shut the fuck up. You cornball. You cornball. Yes. It's fucking wrestling. These dudes are like fucking hitting each other for real.
Like, are you their mom?
Moves.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I remember whenever I got through training, my mom was like, oh, I'm scared if you're going to get hurt. I was like, Mom, you have no idea what you're talking about. Just let me do my thing. But like,
Fuck.
fucking.
But you know what though? Like shit. Like look at what it is. It's dudes throwing each other around, hitting each other with fucking real life shit. If you get hurt, you get hurt. You go into the game knowing what it is. Like
Yeah.
you're
Right.
not like like if you go into wrestling thinking you're never ever going to get hurt, you're the biggest fucking moron there is.
I mean,
like, you
shit.
should
Why do you
accept-
think all your heroes from the '80s and early '90s died from like fucking overdoses? It's because they were hurt.
They were hurting because of them hard ass rings, so they had a bump on everything, which they shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
Right. I wanted to ask you. We saw GC. Well, we didn't see, but we know GCW went back to Mexico, and we've seen GCW bring in Japanese talent, and I believe GCW has went to Japan. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So, if or when GCW does that again, who would you like to see on that card?
From America
No,
or
from Japan.
from Japan? Oh, that's tough. I haven't really been keeping up on modern Japanese wrestling.
Because I'll
modern,
say this:
modern deathmatch Japanese wrestling, I should say.
is it all deathmatch? Because I remember seeing like one on some of the Mania weekends where it was like Daisuke, the big dude,
Daisuke Sekimoto.
yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like,
And
like
he was
the-
wrestling
like,
he was wrestling somebody, and it wasn't deathmatch, and Shingo Iri or whatever his name is.
Shigehiro Ari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and that wasn't deathmatchy.
Yeah, no, okay, so like definitely guys like that, but like I don't necessarily like I don't know who's like
Who's
in,
like available?
in Big
Right.
Japan right now, you know what I mean? Like
Well, I would say like since he's a freelancer and he was an ECW legend, I would love to see Masato Tanaka. That dude
Yeah.
was
yeah.
king of he had the DDT championship. Then he went over to Noah. He's basically doing whatever the fuck he wants, and I think he would be great in a GCW ring.
You know who he's got to wrestle?
Fucking Cologne or Gage.
No. Nope.
Uh,
Neither.
Okay,
Matthew
if you're thinking,
Justice.
I was gonna say if you're thinking about like his feud with Mike Awesome, I was either gonna say Justice or fucking KTB.
Yeah.
It's Matt Justice all day long. Nobody eats chair shots the way Matt Justice
True.
does.
That's fucking
Imagine
true.
the way him and Masato Tanaka would fucking bang out.
If
Bang out. Them chair shots would be crazy. I want that's the match.
if I might make a suggestion, I don't know if he'd be available, but a deathmatch dream match for me would be Nick Gage and one Yun Kasai.
Yeah, Junka Sai is
Yeah.
high up there. Masashi Takeda, obviously way up there. Daisuke Sekimoto, I would like to see him come back to the States. He's not been here for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Big Japan, I liked Shuji Ishikawa for a very long time, but I don't know if he's more All Japan or Big Japan now. I don't really know how that shakes down.
He's at All Japan, man. He's
right.
He's with
the Twin
Suwama.
Towers.
Yeah.
But like when he was wrestling in Big Japan, like that dude was nice with it. I like him. I like is Ryoto Hama still wrestling?
I'm not aware.
If Ryoto Hama is still wrestling, I would love to see him in America. The big fucking round fat man. I love him. He's great. I mean, Drew Parker is just about a Japanese wrestler at this point, so we're gonna get to see him on Homecoming.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Like, but yeah, I don't really know who's tied up to who and who would be available. I mean, honestly, like,
Right.
yeah, I would love to see Dick Togo
Yeah.
in a GCW ring, but I don't know if that's possible.
Oh,
You know,
I know Gato and Jado used to do the deathmatch shit too.
yeah, FMW. You know, like, or some of the guys from like DDT.
Right.
I like the DDT guys. I mean, fuck, like, isn't Jun Akiyama the DDT champion right now or something like that? Like,
he either is or he may have just lost it, but I believe he is.
I think, yeah, like it would be super crazy to get Jun Akiyama in the fucking GCW ring.
I'm pretty sure Tajiri can do whatever he wants. He's in all Japan, but you know, I think
it would be dope because I think Super Crazy can do whatever he wants to. Like, why shouldn't GCW run back to Jerry versus Super Crazy one more time?
Yes, dude. Fuck yes.
Like, why the fuck not? Like, how cool would that be?
Very.
In 2021 or 2022, Super Crazy
and like usually
Jerry.
GCW does like, you know, like 3 shows in the same month or like 2 shows in the same weekend or whatever.
Right.
You could have fucking Too Cold Scorpio and Super Crazy against Tajiri and fucking
Little Guido.
Mm-hmm.
Or like somebody newer who throws Tony Deppen. Because like he's a fucking striker. You know what I mean? Like have him and Tajiri with, you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking around. But we're gonna let you go soon. We have one more question for you.
Well, before that,
yeah, let's
wait.
Say,
Now John.
Okay.
No.
I do want to say, before we get into the last thing, I want to know who, in your mind, or who you've heard, who people talk about, who are GCW's locker room leaders.
And it doesn't just have to be GCW. It could be JCW or hybrid or whatever.
Locker room leaders. Gage.
Okay. I figured
Joey.
that. I figured that was coming.
Of course.
Joey for sure.
Effie.
Nice.
That makes a lot of sense because Effie seems like a very caring person.
And also someone who is trying to establish other avenues for wrestlers to make money aside from going to play other places.
The big 2, you would call it now.
I feel like I might keep it at that 3. I feel like those are the top 3 that come to my head right now.
All right, so Tim,
in
what
terms
is your
of
last
where
question?
everybody's at.
All right. So last question. Obviously, I'm sure you know what's coming. What are your
and Alex Colon whenever he's around.
Right. Okay. That makes sense too.
Yep.
Yeah. So
what are your career goals? You could say short term, you could say long term as well.
I just want to get big as possible riding with GCW. That's the avenue right there. I'm not the type that any of these corporate places want to fuck with. You know what I mean? Like,
I like your freedom.
Basically, yeah.
You like your freedom and you like your 4-letter words. I've noticed.
That's what I
yeah.
meant.
I mean,
but it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, like I'm me. Like,
yeah.
I'm just me. Like I like that's the thing. Like whenever when I got started at GCW, they were just like, "Yo, be you," and I was like, "Oh, really?" Because like for everything up until that time, I felt like I was like fulfilling the role of what I thought an announcer was supposed to be.
Right.
But like at that show, like when I didn't have any formal clothes, I thought I was just on commentary. You know what I mean? He's like, "Yo, we need you for a ring announcement." I was like, "Yo, I ain't got any clothes." Like, "Yo, it's cool. Like, be you. That's you."
That's something I love about JCW. I love I
So
love
yeah, let me go.
Yeah. I love how JCW doesn't insult the fans' intelligence or think like, oh, we got to make the show this way. We got to make the show this way. Oh, certain people might be watching the show. Blah 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 blah. It's like,
yeah, and it's like, and also going off that, like
a lot
they
of people
run shows,
yeah,
called For the Culture and Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and it doesn't come off as like
we are who we are.
Exactly. That's how it comes off. It doesn't come off like fucking. Oh,
this is what we are. This is who we are. This is what we do.
Right.
Like we're not sugarcoating. We're not fabricating. We're not faking it. Like
right.
Yeah. Like this is who we are. This is what we do. Like, you know what I mean? Like and then look at it. Like since I started like doing the shit is like Game Changer, like look at how many other like quote unquote non-traditional ring announcers there have been.
Yeah, that dude from Black Label Pro was awesome.
So cool. Yeah.
I don't know if he works other places.
I gotta say, man, like in my opinion, Game Changer Wrestling is quite possibly the most aptly named promotion in the world.
Right.
It really is.
We ain't playing.
So
obviously,
the game,
because like, dude, we saw, you know, I'll attribute this to GCW, Nick Gage, and Dark Side of the Ring. But those three things, if it wasn't for those three things, we would not have seen that Texas Death Match this week.
Yeah.
We would not have seen Nick Gage on AEW. We would not have seen the fucking bloodbath between Sami Callihan and Kenny Omega at Slammiversary. Like, GCW is spearheading.
I'm going to give the shout out to RSP as well. Just showed up on AEW Dark.
Yeah, but like, the company is spearheading the normalization of deathmatch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Like we doing. You know the big boys watching us.
Mm-hmm.
You know the big boys watching us.
So the last two things,
WWF, AEW, like whatever, they watching us.
Yes.
They know what we do. Like they know what's going on. Like it's just like ECW back in the day. The motherfuckers like WWF and WCW, they was watching ECW back in the day. They know what was going on.
GCW
the same
feels like
if they weren't
ECW.
if the big boys,
GCW is ECW on steroids. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like, and we just going crazy right now.
It's like
and like that's the whole thing. Like to bring it back to me selfishly, I'll just do this as a quick haha. But like fucking, I know the big boys is watching us. That's why I'm not participating in this fucking TikTok ring announcer bullshit. Like, yo, I know if they wanted the best, they would have hit my line already. They already watching GCW. These people know what the fuck I do. I don't need to go on TikTok and get them social media engagement.
Exactly.
What they need to do, if they want the fucking best, is to call my phone.
Right.
So
that's what they need to do.
The last two things
they've seen me. They've seen me. I know it.
Right. Exactly.
Like, so what the fuck? Like, they know who the best in the fucking country is. They know who the best in the world is. So what they got to go to TikTok? Oh, because they want their social media engagement. I know what it is. They're not looking for the best. They're looking for fucking clicks and likes and thumbs up and all that bullshit. Heart signs. I'm not with that. I'm me. If you want the best, hit me up. Don't look for me to
But at the
create
same time,
content
don't
for
expect
you.
a yes.
Right, exactly.
Look, but that's why I put it out. I said, look, if y'all motherfuckers
You can't
want to
afford
record
me.
my Nick
Yeah.
Gage intro this weekend, like y'all can do that because that shit's gonna be a movie.
So here's the thing.
But
right?
other than that, I don't give a fuck. Like, because I know they've seen my shit. Like, this whole thing is a ruse. They're not looking for anybody. They're not looking for the best.
Exactly.
Because I know what I am, and they haven't hit my line.
So now that I got you fired up, the last two things I'm going to ask you to do. Last two things. Because this is getting long, and I'm getting sleepy. So last two things I want you to do.
Love and life, though.
Yes, love and life. Number one, tell the people how they can see the shows this weekend.
All right. So this weekend, if you are in the tri-state area, a.k.a. Jersey, Philadelphia, as if that's its own state, it might as well
they
be.
act like they are.
Yeah. Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, hell, Delaware, Maryland.
If you're in California, get the fuck over here.
No, if you're in the Northeast, get to this area because homecoming weekend, GCW at the Showboat in Atlantic City is going to be out of control. Saturday, July 24th, Sunday, July 25th. We got 4 shows going on. We got JCW, Jersey Championship Wrestling, Saturday the 24th at 2 p.m. Then we got Game Changer Wrestling, Homecoming Night 1 at 8 o'clock on the 24th. Then the next day, H2O on the 25th, Sunday, 12 noon. The first show. The second show, Game Changer Wrestling, Homecoming Night 2 at 5 p.m. So those are the times and dates. If you can't be in the area, if you can't be there live, Jersey Championship Wrestling live on YouTube.
Yep.
For free. You don't gotta pay shit.
How the hell are you not going to watch this show?
How are you not going to watch it? It's 2 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. It's wrestling from Atlantic City. You don't want to miss it. The card is sick. And then going on from there, you're going to, if you want to watch Game Changer Wrestling Homecoming Night 1 and Night 2, you got to be locked in on Fight TV. They got that going on. Fight TV, check them out. Search GCW, I suppose. Homecoming, I suppose. You could probably figure it out. I mean, you guys aren't idiots. But then also H2O. Hey, if you want to see that live, the only way you can see that live is being there live.
Okay.
It's not going to be live streamed. It's going to be recorded. It will be shown the following weekend on IWTV. Cool. But if you want to see it live, if you want to see what's going down, you got to be there live and in person at the Showboat in Atlantic City.
Your boys, Tim and John, will not be physically there, but our logo will be on that mat.
And like I said on Twitter,
seeing that shit.
Like I said on Twitter, if any of you see our logo, send a screenshot, tag us in it. You're going to get a shout out on the next podcast. And once I figure this out, might get a little prize.
Hell yeah.
So,
love the incentive.
I warned you that I was going to ask in the DMs.
Yeah, fuck.
And I want to know if you're up for it. If you're not up for it, it's totally cool. Because they're going to hear it on GCW anyway. They're going to pay their $21.99. So,
they are.
If you're up for it, can we get the Nick Gage intro to end this shit?
All right. You know what? I do need to get my practice in because if y'all notice, I didn't get to do it at all in Texas.
I know you didn't.
And
what the hell was that?
Also, if you want to switch Nick Gage with Armbar Audio, that's completely fine too.
Ooh. I don't know if I can say all that shit
know
and
about
then
that.
not say Nick Gage's name. He might get mad at me.
I feel you.
But
Even if you want to, you'll probably forget halfway through and just go into it.
yeah, let me get my practice in though, real quick though, because I got a big one coming up on Saturday.
And we will, of course, provide the all fucking days when necessary.
Him and what's the guy he's wrestling?
Fucking
Zach
Cardona.
Zach Cardona.
Zach Cardona, yeah.
Zach Cardona.
Matt Ryder. Somebody like that.
Yeah,
some fucking toy guy.
I don't know who this guy is. Fucking weirdo. But
fuck PBR.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I'm not mad at PBR. I'm mad at who they're sponsoring. But I mean, right now I'm drinking Bud Light. Word to Bud Light. Seems to be the easiest.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
But let me get in the zone right quick.
Let's go.
All right. Fighting.
Oh, here we go.
Out of National Park, New Jersey, with an official weight of 207 pounds.
Yep.
Representing that murder, death, kill gang worldwide. Representing his boys locked up in the fucking cell, Eastern Bloc. And representing the motherfucking Hate Club. Rest in peace, Big Nate Hatred. And rest in peace, his brother, Justice Payne. And you know what it is. It's MDK
all fucking day.
The man, the king, the fucking god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage.
MDK,
and that's
MDK, MDK.
That's the last
yeah.
shit. That's the last shit Matt Cardona finna hear on Saturday.
Yo,
That's
I
the
said-
last shit.
Beyond posted that they booked him for American Rona, and I fucking quote tweeted them, and I said, I don't know why you wasted your money because he's not surviving this weekend.
Yes.
He ain't making it out alive, man. He getting $150.
Carve him the fuck up. I
Hell
fucking
yeah,
hate
man.
jelly beans.
I'm with that. I'm with it.
Well, all right, Emil. This was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank
yo.
you for coming on. Thank you for doing this.
If you ever want to come
Thank
on
you.
again, it would be a pleasure because I love shooting that
Of
shit
course.
about about all wrestling. Like
Yeah.
that was fun.
Absolutely. Anytime, yo.
You have a great weekend.
Have a
I know
great
you
weekend.
will.
I know you will.
We're gonna be watching you, so
Hell yeah. Appreciate y'all.
no problem.
Take it easy, Em.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.